What's up YouTube, it's Cooper Can. I'm back into the video, and today I have a top 5 decks of the format, not the meta format, but top 5 decks to combat the top 3 decks, which is Burning Abyss, Shadolls, as well as Sateller Knights. Now, to start off, I'm going to start off with Girgias. I think Girgias are a viable deck for the format, just because they're very explosive, and they can combo out of plays really fast with big beaters, as well as lots of speed and versatility. This has a great matchup against the Sateller Knights, because if they go first, they basically win. This has a lot of side deck options as well, such as Macrocosmos, Devision, and Soul Drain. It doesn't hurt them that much. The only problem Gyarados have are against Shadolls, which can be a big problem, but they're able to side in the Macrocosmos, Defissure, Soul Drain, as well as Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors. So Gyarados are a very good game 2 and 3, but the the Construct as well as the Winda are big problems for Gyarados. As well as the Burning Abyss, they're a decent matchup against their first game. As well, they do have some problems against the Dante, which can bring them a lot of problems with trying to go over them. If they can make multiple Dantes a turn, they can't do much against it other than Exciton Knighting, which basically gets your opponent a ton of pluses. They can make Cancel Pleiades as well, and just bounce back armor. That can be a problem as well. But like Shadolls, and yeah, they can side a lot. This is a very good side deck option. Like, what I mean by side deck option is it can side very well against other matchups. So I'm putting at number 5, Gyarados. Number 4, I have Evilswarm. This is actually a decent deck because it stops Shadolls with making their fusions. So having a Xyz on board does not really matter. Just as well as you can bring on Ophion, you're fine against Shadolls. The only problem you have with Shadolls is trying to get over the smaller monsters. You have to keep on attacking them, which eventually will get you into a situation where they'll have a set dragon and they'll just pop your Ophion. That's when you have a problem. But you're able to Vanity lock your opponents out with that, and Safeguard as well, or Safe Zone. So Evilswarms are good against basically every deck. The only problem they have is against Sateller Knights. Sateller Knights do pose a big problem. And Burning Abyss is another problem that's not as easy. But the good thing is that Ophion has a 50 more attack than Dante, which is great. So Dante can't get over Ophion in that point. And if they do try to go into a tour guide, most of the time you will have Vanity's Emptiness, so they can't get over it. Satellers, same thing, but they don't really need the rank 4s as much, or they can go into more rank 4s other than higher levels. So Evilswarm do have a problem against them, but otherwise Evilswarm's a pretty good matchup. They're able to side in, I believe, they could side in Shadow Imprisoning Mirror if they wanted to, because Ophion does not get negated by that. The only problem is, like, if your opponent, well, it hurts your opponent more than you do, let's put it that way. And you're also able to side the Light Imprisoning Mirror as well. So you're able to block out decks like Battery Man and the Sateller Knights. So Evilswarm do have a good matchup. They're able to side Macro and Soul Drain and all that, so do side very well. I'm going to put Evilswarm number 4. Remember guys, this is my opinion on what's the best 5 decks to combat the meta. You guys can leave your top 5 decks down in the description if you want, but these are my opinion, okay? So don't hate me on that, I guess. I don't know. So Battery Man. Now this has been a rampant deck that's been going around, a good budget deck, and I agree, it's a very good budget deck. It's able to bring out rank 4s pretty quickly. It's able to just spam your opponent without really needing a special summon that much. So a ton of attacking with smaller monsters. Battery Man are very good. They're just able to Vanity lock your opponent out and all that. They're able to play Soul Drain, all that. Soul Drain. I'm not sure about Macro. I have not played this deck as much. Or I haven't played with it at all. I just seen a couple duels, and what I've seen so far, Battery Man can get to the top. To be honest, I don't know what else to say about this deck. They can Vanity lock other decks out from even playing, so that's always a good part. So I put Battery Man at number 3. Another deck I believe is underused but it's still out there, is Spellbooks. Spellbooks have a good matchup against most decks because Fate just banishes everything. They don't, your opponent can't do much against it. And you don't bring out the Xyz monsters, extra deck monsters, so they can't really fusion you that hard. And if they do fusion you, then it's not really a problem because you can get over with Priestess easily, or you can just able to fade it back to the extra deck, or no, what's it called? Banish it. So spellbooks are good in that sense, and they always have pluses. The only problem is against Burning Abyss, because Dante, again, if they keep on spamming them Dantes, it's hard for them to get over. And maybe Sateller Knights might suppose a little bit of a problem for them, because if they can't get their first secret off or a blue boy, they might have a slight problem. So, and they're very sideable too. I mean, you can side in both mirrors, or yeah, both mirrors. You can side. I think you can side DeFi. D-Fissure as well. No, that's DeFi. You can also side in Soul Drain, so it's good in that sense that you can side multiple cards, and they also have many outs to your opponent's deck. And if you want to, you can side in cards like Phoenix Wing Windblast to bounce back their Xyz or no fusions, as well as their other smaller monsters if you really wanted to make them laid back or back in games. For example, you do the Wing Blast. Sorry, I can't talk today. Wing Blast to your opponent's Falco, they're already back a turn. So that's good. And I believe the #1 deck that is viable against the meta is Bujin Stun. When we have Bujin Stun, it is a Vanity's Lock plus Kaiser Coliseum plus Yamato. So let me explain this deck. It's very versatile. It's able to make a bunch of Xyz and all that and do all that mumbo jumbo. It can spam the board very decently fast, not gonna lie. And if your opponent can't get over Yamato in the first turn, they basically lose from there. But if your opponent stops Yamato in the first turn, you kind of lose from there because Yamato is your big card. You can go into Vanity's Lock, and you as well can go into Kaiser Coliseum and roll Decree. Because in a version that plays no spells and plays no traps, you're able to run a bunch of spells to protect Yamato, like Lances and all that, and a bunch of dualities and MSCs to get over your opponent's back row. In return for Royal Decrees, plus Vanity's Emptiness. Yes, people do run Vanity's Emptiness plus Decree just to get over stuff like that. Shadolls, if they activate Fusion, it doesn't matter because they're gonna go more minus for their Fusion, because since most of the time you should not go into an Xyz when you had just a stable Yamato out. Your opponent can't really do much with the fusion other than go into a construct, and even then you can just on it or crane it since it doesn't get automatically destroyed, since it is not special summoned from the extra deck. And also this does bring them down into a grind game, so they can't do much other than Sinister Shadow games, which gets them pluses that are useless against this deck. When they have a Kaiser Coliseum plus a Vanity's Emptiness, they basically lose because they can't null summon anything to get over Yamato. So, and Super Poly is 1, and so they can't really do much with Super Poly since they can't main as many. And against the Burning Abyss matchup, it's the same thing. If you have Kaiser Coliseum out and they can't get over Yamato, that's the whole point of the story. So Tour Guy doesn't do anything. Nothing does anything against Yamato. Yamato's too strong. As well as the Sateller Knights. If you have out an already active Kaiser Coliseum, they can't Star Nova that. So they basically lose. So in my opinion, Bujin is one of the best decks to combat the format right now. You're also able to side Imprisoning Mirrors, which is also very good against the Shaddoll matchup. Now that is my top 5 decks of the format that is able to combat the top 3 decks known as Shadolls, Burning Abyss, and Sateller Knights. Thank you guys for watching this video. Click an ad if you want. It takes a little bit of time out of your day. Support me by if eventually I'm gonna get eBay opening cases on tape. So eventually you could support me by buying cards off of eBay and doing all that stuff. It really does mean a lot to me guys for watching my videos, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.